Hi, this is Mark McCauley. I'm Vice President Government Affairs at the Nonprofit Alliance. This is the monthly legislative update. To say the least, we have a lot of moving parts here in Washington, D.C. First, federal budget authority is scheduled to expire at the end of the fiscal year, September 30th, so Congress will need to extend budget authority. It will probably do it on a short-term basis, a 2 or 3 month extension, but that has to be done by September 30th, or we'll have a government shutdown. Let me now pivot to a very important issue for TNPA, national privacy legislation. As you may recall, the House Energy and Commerce Committee reported out for consideration on the House floor a national privacy bill that, very frankly, we have some significant concerns. Most importantly, it doesn't have a clear federal preemption of current or future state privacy laws. In fact, it provides a carve out for 15 existing state privacy laws. Also, it includes a private right of action, which, as you know, could lead to a lot of class action lawsuits, many of which would be frivolous. So we have concerns with this legislation. So while the legislation was reported out of committee, we're not certain if it will come to the House floor before Congress adjourns in early October to go home and campaign for the election. But even if it were to pass the House, we've heard from virtually everyone we know on the Senate side, the Senate will not take this legislation up this year. So national privacy legislation will be all but certain a next year issue. To that end, we've been working closely with a number of our allies in both the House and the Senate on this issue to keep them apprised, and in the likely event it comes up next year, to have that well positioned to hopefully move a better crafted bill. Let me mention universal charitable deduction. This, as you know, is an important issue for us. The current $300 for individual universal charitable deduction, $600 for married couple, expired at year end last year, December 31, 2021. It needs to be renewed. And unfortunately, it appears it will not be renewed by Congress until after the election in an all but certain lame duck session, which will start probably around mid-November. It will be tied together with a group of other expired tax provisions and passed in a package. We're pretty confident the package will be brought up in the lame duck session and will in fact be enacted into law. But we're staying on that issue very closely because it is very important to our sector. Finally, on the political landscape, a few months ago, most people thought the House was definitely going to flip from Democrats to Republicans, and the Senate would likely flip as well from Democrats to Republicans. Political winds have changed, and it looks like now the Senate very well could stay in Democratic hands. Either way, it'll be very evenly divided. And the House is still expected to flip from Democrats to Republicans, but probably by a smaller majority than had been anticipated just a few months ago. So that's the latest from Washington. We're staying busy, and please stay tuned. We want to keep you apprised of all we do here in Washington, D.C.